I try to keep it cool, but all these women trying to test me. Your man is a lame and ain't no way that he could best me. The way that I be killing it, I swear they should arrest me or check me or mess around and die trying.
Welcome to today's IT Misfits. With me are my fellow Misfits, Tim Stevens, Matt Campisi, and Samuel Hernandez. This week's topic is about using humor in IT, and today's topic is analyzing how you can use humor effectively in professional communications, like during team meetings, presentations, or even maybe some of your technical documentation. The quote I had for today is from Tony Robbins. The way we communicate with others and ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. And I thought that was really fitting because to me, I want my life to be filled with humor and to be the quality of my life to be filled with laughter and that sort of deal. And I think if we're sharing laughter, sharing humor, that everybody's life and the quality of their life could be better. So
I like that. It means you're going to live a really long time.
I hope so, man. We got to, at this point, the way they're working through things, I think if we make it the next 20, we might make it another 50. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I talked a little bit yesterday about the situation where I was trying to. I got feedback at work where they had said, look, people don't take you seriously because you tell these, you're always joking and stuff like that. And so I really swung my pendulum to the very, very serious. And I did that for a year. And I really did not realize until I came back from that Puerto Rico trip how much of myself I had lost, how inauthentic I had really come across, even to my own team, that they had kind of felt like, well, I don't know, Jerry just doesn't see, what I heard mostly was Jerry just doesn't seem himself, or he's not himself. I actually ended up having pretty, I guess I would say, being angry at work, and not like angry, yelling at people and stuff, but just not happy, discontent and frustrated, and always walking around like I bit a brick or something, so I am happy that I had that experience to realize that I really want to use humor throughout work, and I can't work somewhere where they don't accept that or don't appreciate it. And the weird thing is, I think everybody appreciates it, especially on an individual scale in a meeting with your team or something along those lines. Absolutely. Individually talking and chatting. Absolutely. It's the maybe if you get on the broader or grander scale, larger scale, maybe that's where it starts to, I don't know, maybe have a negative impact. But anyways, I don't care. I can't work anywhere that doesn't like humor. So with that said, trying to feather it into professional communication, that's a little bit more nuanced. And so that's where I'm going to throw it out to you guys and say, maybe Matt, how do you use humor, or how would you recommend people use humor in professional communication?
I think of professional communication, it's emails, face-to-face real meetings, and then I was going to say voicemails, but no one ever uses voicemails anymore. And then chat type apps, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, where you're on group chats where you could all communicate. My tool is in group chats. I think that's the easiest place to use humor because you could think about it, you could read it, write it, rewrite it. You could add emojis, you could add GIF files so that you could punch it up, as we always say, to make it more funny or find the perfect thing. I've yet to be able to inject humor into official documentation. So I commend you for even adding that to the list of things, Jerry. But at the very least, team communication, internal team, where it's your core team, where you have rapport, you have, people, is where I tend to use it. And then in not team meetings with clients. So where two dissimilar teams that don't normally get together, there's always tension because they don't know each other. I tend to always try to find humor to break the ice. I'm a big fan of the David Letterman style, or even if it's not funny, you repeat it over the course of the meeting, and then it becomes funny just by the fact that it's so uncomfortable and it's not funny. So if there was, I don't know if that's on your 12 formats of what humor is, but the David Letterman just keep repeating until it's funny is the one tidbit I would say. Find something that was maybe uncomfortable brought up in the meeting and just keep bringing it up.
All right. Samuel, how about you? Any insight there you want to provide?
Like the point that Matt brought up about communicating over chat, like Teams or Slack or whatever. I've had entire conversations using memes and GIFs, like a whole conversation, and we got stuff done, and there were very little text in that string, and I always love being able to inject, a little bit of, humor in that format. It's not that difficult. Text very similarly, like you can use the same thing with GIFs and memes. I do find that, verbal communication, spoken face-to-face communication, it's easy to pick up on nuances, right? It's easy to pick up on someone's like vibe and their look and their body language. Impossible to do it over text. So inserting a meme or a GIF or an emoji, even it's as simple as an emoji, can really impart the flavor that you're trying to get across in that particular message. And I don't shy away from doing that with like executives either, right?
Ooh.
Like, I did an interview once, and we did this whole role playing where I had to present the technology to this company who shall remain unnamed. And I'm like, this kind of messed up. First, I don't work there. I don't know the stuff, but I'm sure I'll spend the next 20 hours researching it. And I did a presentation, and the guy role playing the VP role, I was very myself with, and he didn't like it. And ultimately, I didn't get the job. And to your point, Jerry, I'm so thankful, right? Because like if I can't be myself, like that's how I talk to an executive. Guess what? I have dropped F-bombs with executives.
Sure.
Those guys where I'm a first name texting basis with, who spend a lot of money with me. Why? Authenticity.
Yeah. That's great. Tim, how about yourself?
I think if you can get the people you're talking to relaxed and get them to feel safe, they're going to open up, right? And you're going to have a better conversation. You're going to get to wherever you need to go with whatever it is you're trying to fix or solve. So what I do is when I host team meetings and one-on-ones is I'll start out more so with team meetings with a motivational quote and a silly dad joke, right? And for the longest time, because I've exercised this for about 1.5 years, none of the team members said anything about it until I stopped doing it. And then I realized there was an effect that was actually coming with this intentional daily demonstration or weekly demonstration of communication with humor. So that, I think, if you can get your team relaxed, if you can get the person relaxed that you're talking to enough where they open up, you can really get to whatever it is you're both trying to solve. So I think humor is definitely can be used as an ingredient to do that. You guys mentioned being authentic. I think that's very important. If you can open yourself up and really be yourself, then you can get much farther along in your career with wherever it is you're trying to go, right? Opposed to just kind of getting in where you fit in and doing what everybody else is doing. That's easy. It's harder to be yourself and then still, be able to pursue greatness at the same time.
Tim, you didn't finish the story part when you stopped doing it. Your team brought it up. You didn't say they brought it up as in they missed it or they were thankful.
No, but they, how IT guys are and girls is they're not, it's hard to really pull out of people what's going on with them at times, but they didn't say much.
I was on a call
after I didn't do it. They're like, hey, where's the motivational quote?
I was on a call where Tim was leading it, and someone asked, "Hey, man, where's the motivational quote?"
Yeah, where's the motivational quote?
Shut up.
They were almost offended that they didn't have it. They missed it.
Absolutely. Agreed. All right. Well, now let's move on to the open source comedy side of the call. And we'll start today with Mr. Campisi.
We were talking about yesterday why in IT, the industry, this space, this environment, there's not as much humor, or why it's kind of lacking. One of the things we talked about is maybe they're introverts. We also talked about one of the things is, I think, technical people who have kind of a STEM background, science, technology, engineering, math, are very visual. And then we talked about these tools like Microsoft Teams and Slack, where you could post emojis and or memes. So my effort was to I think we're introverts in the IT space. You might be afraid to put yourself out there. Why not just go with a meme? There are apps. If you just Google meme generator, you could find your favorite picture. We also in weeks past talked about Office Space being probably one of the best IT movies. So this is an image. So this is my boss reminding me about my weekly status report. Little does he know, I automated it weeks ago using Python scripting, just to kind of bring a couple together here.
Yes. The old TPS report. I never thought about if you took Office Space today, Office Space from then, put it to today, how would it, sort of play out? And is he, hey, what about your TPS reports? And oh yeah, that's all done. Like literally at this point, Peter is just running everything.
Yeah.
With Chat GPT. All right, next one. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
No, I like that. It's so funny. Using the most interesting man in the world, another really common theme. It always starts with, I don't always, drink beer, but when I do, I drink Dos Equis. But I don't always care about user acceptance feedback, but when I do, I drink to drown out, because I want to scream at them, since they really don't know their own requirements. So a little bit of a little joke that us in IT always don't like to maybe work with users, and
99% of the time or so.
Yeah, and we think we're right, and they're wrong. Yeah. Last one, again, meme generated, just trying to, put myself out there, try some new stuff. Here is, I like this guy with the, I think I'm smarter and I know what's going on kind of.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this one is, change control prep. Great use of time until you have to roll back part. You've thought it through, but then
right up
inevitably.
Wait, rollback. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So quick examples. We can all just put ourselves out there, try something different. With a little bit of time, you might get a chuckle.
That is really cool. And I didn't think about hey, if you're a little bit introverted, a meme, that you created specifically for a meeting or something. That's a great idea.
So
all right.
I know a cool little trick with doing that. So I've done that in meetings where I create a real quick meme and then I make it my background.
Ooh.
While people are still talking. It takes 2 minutes. If the
clever.
conversation's I'll make it
your
my
background right here when everyone's
remote. I make it my virtual background. And then I just kind of cover the camera, right? Because then all of a sudden all they see is the meme.
Wow.
And I just sit there silently,
That's really clever.
Yeah.
You guys, holy mackerel. All right, Samuel.
It works. It works pretty good. So for my bit, we talked about authenticity, right? And I think in IT, it's very rare. And so, one of those cases that comes to mind is when you call for support. You call for support, and you got a guy named Bob. Boob. No, it's not Boob. It's Bob, bro. What's your real name? What's your real name? My name is Deepak. Okay, great, Deepak. Nice to meet you. Here's my problem. You kind of iterate through it, right? And you come to find out that Deepak has no idea what he's talking about. So you escalate. Hey, can you give me a tier 1 engineer? Just no problem. Samu. No, it's Samuel, not Samu. But whatever. Escalate, right? So he escalates. Gets a guy on the call. He goes, hello. My name is Deepak. How can I help him? Like, man, am I getting punked here? Like, what's going on? It's the same name. Why is every Indian called Deepak? And why is this a yes and a no?
Interesting. All right. Yeah. So you added in the yes and the no part from last time, right? Mm-hmm. And we've all run into the support Deepak, whoever it is. And so that's a common not necessarily called out, but common situation in ours. So I like that. I'm thinking that when you first started, I think maybe start with the Samuel part as opposed to the boob part. So, hello, who am I speaking to? And you say Samuel, and he's like, oh, okay, Samu, like he's struggling with your name, like yours is weird, right? Like, and that way, and then you get a little bit of
I like that. Yeah.
And maybe he mumbles to himself or something how much he doesn't like American names or how difficult American names are, or whatever. Puerto Rican, maybe says Puerto Rican names or whatever, right? Something like that. To
I
be
like that.
a very quick hit up front.
I like that a lot.
It's an idea, right? It's a note, of course, like always. Anybody else have notes for Samuel?
I think when you did the head gesture, you bled into it really quickly. So I think it's just a matter of a little bit of timing.
Yep.
You kind of changed subjects, but you kind of didn't the way you executed. So and I know we're rushed right now because we're at the top of the hour, but yeah, it's the idea that it is kind of a separate joke, so it needs a pause or some.
Or build or a something to set it off, because if you come across,
I need a second thing.
Yeah. So why is this? Or then you get into a video chat. So now he invites me to a video chat, and then you can get into and why is this and this the same thing? I don't know what's going on, or something along those lines.
Is he mad at me or is he happy?
And now I got Deepak and Deepak, and they're all doing this. and I don't know what's going on, but my problem is yet to be solved. So I just Control-Alt reset. 5 minutes later, everything's back to function, or something along those lines, which is also, obviously a trope. All right. So on my side, I'm going to tell, because this has been really about my experience in Puerto Rico and some of that, and that'll be my bit that I get towards the end of the week. I did want to share one other. It's sort of adjunct. It is about a veterinarian that I met while I was working at PetSmart, who was Puerto Rican, and she, at the time, we were living in a house, and there was this cat outside our window that was just at night was just making these horrendous noises. It sounded like a siren, and I thought I finally asked this veterinarian. I said, "What is going on?" And she said, so she's very Puerto Rican. She goes, "Oh, Jerry, that is he is the cat. She is in heat. She is making the noise of the heat." And I said, "Well, yeah, it's Phoenix, right? It's hot. I understand that." She goes, No, you don't understand it. Okay. When a female cat, she wants to breed, she starts to make all this noise. And she is bringing in all the potential male suitors. So she's making all these noises and sounds. She's bringing all these male suitors in. And then the male suitors, they show up, and then they start to fight, and there's hissing and fighting and attacking and noise. And I said, "Yeah, we heard that too." She goes, "Yes, this is the male suitors now fighting over the female. And then when only one suitor is left, then it gets very noisy, if you know what I mean." And I said, "Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You mean that all cats are Puerto Ricans."
Excellent use of accents, by the
Now,
way.
I would not recommend using that joke outside of Puerto Rico, because in Puerto Rico that joke kills. But outside of Puerto Rico, people get a little bit like, "Well." So anyway,
that is hilarious.
Your professional, use that at your own risk in your professional communications, etc. All right. Well, I think that's great. I like it. And thanks, Samuel, for bringing in a kind of the, hey, can we work on a little bit? I really do enjoy that part. Tomorrow's Thursday, so tomorrow hopefully we get everybody again and we can continue to work on it. And then don't forget Friday's the build-up. That should be about a minute of your sort of work through and more, we should say more polished, because I don't want to put the pressure on us to say it has to be perfect, super polished. It is just a more polished set of yes. All right. And with that, I want to say thank you to my fellow IT Misfits, Tim Stevens, Matt Campisi, Samuel Hernandez. Thank you all for joining. Thanks to everyone that joined us here today. We hope you have a great day.